thank you for calling me in today. As your higher self, I have been watching and observing the journey and experiencing the challenges that have been part of the process for humanity at this time. It is very intriguing for us to see how everyone is responding, how everyone is adjusting and attuning to the information that has been given to you all at this almost unbelievably extraordinary time in the human's experience. It literally seems almost too outrageous to believe what is about to happen. We understand this very much. It's too much for you to perceive and comprehend, really, with your human ego and your human mind to understand all of the details that go with the shifting of the planet. It is too much for most people to comprehend. So this is why we have asked you to use your intuition and to go within and get a strong sense of your own moral compass. We have said this to you time and time again, to be able to use your moral compass overall and not be peer pressured into believing a certain narrative. And this is very broad. This is literally for everything. We know you are also seeking out for other information from other sources, from other channels, from other mediums, from other people who use their platforms to make the very bold statements that they are very connected and know the greater truths and they know the biggest information. And we say to you, is that someone who sounds spiritual to you? When they are having to use their platform to sell their books, to sell their courses, to sell their services, and to keep using their ego to keep telling you how good they are, how great they are, how special they are, when they are merely the vessel for our information. Your human minds and your human experiences are limited and capped. You can receive our information and apply our information, but it is not the vessel's information. It is like saying, if I read a cyclopedia, I am the cyclopedia. No, you have used the wisdom from the cyclopedia to learn and grow from, but this was information given to you. You did not innately know this information. Of course, there are some people who have no veil, so they are connected to us, but it is still our information. It is still the bigger information. While you do have all of this information within you, you have to tap into it and be able to use your spiritual team to be able to get this greater information. And again, there are some people who do not have the veil, so they are truly connected within, but they're not those people that are show ponying. They're not the people who have YouTube channels. They're not the people who have Facebook pages that do endless videos of themselves sharing the information. These people who are truly awoken don't need this. They don't need to try and convince others of the information. They are doing their own private work. They are secluded. They are connecting to the consciousness and healing it and connecting the higher vibrational energies and adding into the human consciousness in a private manner. The people who do need to have followers, who do need to sell books, t-shirts, and merchandising, those are the people who are stuck in a lower frequency because they should be able to share freely the information without getting their need for ego stroked, for the attention of it, and for the financial abundance of it. Those people, while they are getting some information from their spiritual team, because they are somewhat open, they're still getting triggered by what they feel is the injustices of the world. They still feel vulnerable to things like the virus and the 5G and to the vaccines and the lockdowns, and this, as such, the environmental issues. Those are the people that are still saying that the shift to New Earth is just a mindset. We don't go anywhere, nothing happens to us, all is well. Those are the people that need and want to have their lives stay exactly how it is. For them, they've made it. For them, they're getting the attention that they need. They're getting the money that they've wanted, and their lives are exactly how they have worked towards, and they don't want anything to change. So they're not seeking their spiritual counsels to ask for the bigger information. They may have tried to tap in to find out what the shift is about and what the date of the 12th of the 21st is, and they will be showing not much. They do not want to, and nor can they handle the next step. So it may be a bit vague to them. It may be like, oh, it's all good, everything's well, but they're still blocking themselves. Their subconscious knows that their egos can't cope with that, and they are really truly resisting the information. So they'll be a bit aloof and sort of say that the new world, the new earth is here already, we just have to tap into it. And they are terrified of any true change. They've worked hard to get where they want to. They're very happy with their, in quotation marks, spiritualism, and they're very happy for the followers that they have. If they started losing followers, they would start wondering why. And maybe then they would get pushed into having to ask the bigger questions. But right now, they're so comfortable doing exactly what they are doing that they're not wanting to change anything. Actually, almost terrified to change things because then they may actually lose their following, the followers. So it is very complex. Of course, these are all stepping stone people while you use your intuition and figure out who's giving you some truths, who's giving you part truths. You should actually start trying to tap into the agenda of each individual channeler or medium or guru or whoever you see fit to be able to connect with and trust. You should be trusting what your gut is feeling. And not feel like, oh, this person's got a huge following, so I must follow with. Oh, I'm a bit confused here because this does not feel right, so therefore I'm going to not question it and just accept it. This is literally what we've been asking you to really think and question everything, can feel into your own intuition of where you morally should be going and what makes sense, what makes common sense to you, what feels fear-based to you, what feels limited to you. We don't want you to solely rely on one person's viewpoint of what's happening, because you have the answers within you, what's going to happen for you. And so you're still needing to think for yourselves, you're still needing to feel for yourselves, and you mustn't get complacent with what one person is saying, how their opinion of the shift is going to be, of what the ascension process is, what the transcension is, what New Earth is. This is really your homework. And while we understand some people like to be given all this information on a silver platter for you to just absorb, this is not truly going to be serving you to be able to do that. You must still do your own inner work to be able to sense in and to feel what's right for you. So it's a lot going on there. You're still connecting with a lot of humans who still have a lot of limitations, still have a lot of ego, and still have a lot of fear. So this is not a judgment on anyone. This is to politely remind you why you are getting so much different information coming out in different platforms. So you should be able to now really resonate with people who are speaking the bigger truths. And the people who are still stuck in fear or have limitations and not telling the bigger truth, do those people really serve you? What information are you taking for granted as truth from them that may also be limited or has their own agenda? So this is a perfect time, an absolute perfect time for you to question all and to question what works for you and what settles in for you. Of course, if you don't want to believe that the shift to the new earth is real, that is completely fine. You're free with your free will to believe and feel anything you want. It will not stop the shift in the event happening, however. So it's not about a belief system that will get you to new earth. That is not how it is done, nor how it is needed to be done. The people who are quite, in your opinion, fast asleep will still possibly shift without even knowing what is happening. They will not be left behind because they do not know about New Earth or any spiritual information at all. Truly, it is about the body, frequency, and vibration, and their mindsets being in a semi-balanced, positive state. The actual threshold for people to be able to shift is actually quite a lot lower than you have been led to believe by others. There is many people out there saying if you've ever eaten meat or if you eat meat, you will not shift. And that is absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. There are people out there that are saying you must have a decalcified pineal gland, otherwise you will not shift. Again, absolute nonsense. They don't know what they're talking about. They are again talking about fear and feeling victimized to the fluoride that is being put into your bodies. And potentially the reason why people have had their pineal gland sort of blocked is because it was not appropriate for them to awaken so early. They still needed to do their inner work and to explore and have as much experiences as being human on this planet at this time was essential. So therefore, once you are awakened and aware of the shift and more consciously aware of what's truly going on around you, it kind of is harder for you to be pretending so much that you're in this game and working through it. So some people did not want to be awoken early, and they wanted to experience it while they're here. What's the point of going to Disneyland if you're not going to experience any of the rides? And so what's the point coming to Earth, living in these bodies, if you're not going to experience the rides and the emotions of what life gives you? And when you are awoken and you see the bigger picture and nothing really triggers you as much, and you're sort of aware of the true purpose of life and the true situation, you sort of stop. You are awoken. You're not blindly going through life the same. And so this is part of the reason why people needed to have their pineal glands calcified, was to be able to sort of stop the connection of their intuition as such. You needed to be paused. You weren't allowed to vibrate high because you would have popped out and seen had the veil released. And so this was on purpose for you. This is something that you'd wanted. And so your spiritual team would have helped you, support you to be able to do exactly what you wanted to do in this lifetime. So again, you're not a victim to calcification of the pineal gland. This is exactly what your body needed, exactly what your spiritual team is helping you with. And so for anyone spiritual, up in arms, worried about the calcification of your pineal gland and worried for you, they can back off and they can respect that it's your free will and this is your life contract and your spiritual team actually has you. Thank you very much. And so while we say this with a little sass, we want you to apply this to a lot of other things that a lot of other, in quotation marks, spiritual people are saying to you. So don't get in worry or fearful of if your body is prepared, if your mind is prepared, you're going to shift regardless of whether you're ready or not. Your spiritual team has your back. And while we know that humans bounce backwards and forwards from doubt to fear to worry to balance to elation to joy in an afternoon, That is completely fine. That is completely natural. You're learning how to manifest your emotions and your realities. And this is fantastic. Everything is heightened, everything is sped up, everything is purposeful. This month is extraordinarily amazing for many reasons. And so we want you to enjoy it. We want you to release any judgment of any disinformation, misinformation being spread by these spiritual people. They're doing the best they can, but of course, we also hope that their egos could be in check, because they should be more in tune with the truth and the reality of what's happening. And so, spiritual people are still people. They can still have get stuck and have blockages without really understanding it. And this is really impacting them greatly. And if this is impacting too many other people, we will be resolving this. We will be pushing the person into the stronger direction. Of course, they have free will, but if this is not their life purpose and plan, and if they are affecting others, we will step in. We will, without a doubt, step in. So there are some people we are heavily watching and trying to guide and push, but this is a lot for them to deal with. They are still human people. They still have plans for next year. They still are triggered, and they can't process things. They actually don't really trust the system, the process. They still have a lot of doubt, so they're keeping very, very safe. It's already pushed them out of their boundaries to be what already they are sharing. So they're limited, and this is the most that they can do at the moment. Literally is the most that they're really prepared to do. So there is lots. It's all stepping stones for you to be able to awaken and to work out what is your truth, what aligns with you, what resonates with you. And so again, it's all purposeful. So it is marvelous times, and we want you to enjoy this and release all that no longer serves you, and process and notice what comes up for you and release it in your due course. This is fantastic. Please remember how far you have come in the last year, 10 years, 20 years. That will always bounce you back into pride and make you feel pleased with your accomplishments. It's not just wisdom that has come from the ages. It is literally your genuine individual advancements. Look at other people who are the same age as you who are still asleep. So if you need to compare yourself with others to be able to reward yourself and feel good about how much hard work you've done, do it. It is not judging the other person. It is simply an observation. So we want to keep giving you these boosts and make you feel proud of yourselves. We can't make you feel anything, but we're trying to remind you with much love how to check in with yourself and reward yourself emotionally with pride and love to yourself. This is always what we've wanted for you, and that will never change. And we say this with much love.